I do have to tell you that, dear God, this special. I'm a big fan of yours in general.
Thank you.
It's I'm a little not to be a giant nerd, but the Showgirls thing obsessed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I listened to Eric Williams' podcast, Gay Ass Podcast. Your episode
Yeah,
is amazing.
thank you.
And I just watched Rachel for the first time in the last um couple of months, and dear God, um this special is so I've never seen anything like it. And I feel like this is the first time that I was watching something that was filmed live on stage that I really, really wish that I was in the room for it. I don't
Oh,
think I've ever had that feeling before.
yes,
Um,
great.
and I just wanted to take in any manic energy that I possibly could. Um, I did want to ask, I heard in an interview where you spoke about um in preparation for filming this, you were a little nervous about the vulnerability of singing, and you have such a beautiful voice. And
Thank
you're welcome. And I guess I wanted to know, now that the special has been out there, and if that sort of feeling has sort of changed, or maybe that is still the same.
Well, it's both. I mean, like I was it's mostly like healed in that like
Mhm.
I did it.
Yeah.
It's on public record and no one threw tomatoes at me. Like no, like no, like I looked for it, honey. I name searched like a crazy person on Twitter. Like for the first few weeks the special was out, I
Yeah.
was like hunting for people being like cringe.
Uh,
And like because in my head as I was preparing the special, all I could hear were the voices of like cool gay guys who, are in grad school for like literature. Like being like cringe. I created actual Twitter
no.
accounts that don't exist in my head. You know what I mean?
No.
And I
Yeah.
was like in conversation with them the entire process. And I would be in my shower and I'd be like, my shower. I'd be in the
Yeah.
shower. I actually have a shower. I don't.
Oh my God, exclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
think that's the headline.
Yeah.
But I would be in the shower and I would be like, I'd find myself monologuing. Like I've like defending myself before the special would come out. I'd be like,
Hmm.
well, I don't, it's not that I think I have a good voice, like well, anyway,
Hmm.
but like um I was very scared about it because to be clear, like I don't think I have some crazy athletic, remarkable voice, but I do think there is something like I do love to sing at live shows.
Yeah.
I think it helps, at least
Mhm.
in my experience. It helps set the mood and it imbues the stand-up with a kind of emotion that I like,
Yeah.
that I don't when I'm just doing pure dry stand-up without music, I don't have that feeling. And I also just like things to feel like a party. I like my shows to feel like a
Mhm.
party. And
Yeah.
and so having the band, I think it loosens people up. Although when I did the taping and I came out and we were doing tweet,
Mhm.
like I act the first show, the audience was like petrified.
Really?
Yeah, the early show, I was like
Mhm.
looking, everyone was like, and I was like, I'm singing tweet,
Yeah.
show some respect.
Well, also, I mean, I was even going to ask about that because I feel like, and I obviously watched it from the comfort of my living room, it was just, I felt like for me as an audience member, that gives us a level of comfort, like seeing you
My
comfortable on
God.
stage. It was
Yeah.
sort of like, I think that's immediately when I said I wanted to be in the room. I guess it was just sort of like, if he can get up there and sing that amazing song and do whatever he wants to do on that stage, I know I'm gonna have a good time.
Oh, good. I'm so glad because sometimes that's absolutely the goal. But I think sometimes when you're doing stuff that to some people might feel like outrageous or brazen or,
Hmm.
it feels hostile to them. Like you're
Mm.
supposed to almost like the appropriate thing to do socially would be to kind of like creep out on stage and kind of
Yeah.
apologize.
Mhm.
And like I don't know. So I understand that. I understand that for some people it might be overwhelming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad it eased you in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's I mean, going back to what you said for a second, I want to say, are you telling me that theater theater homos are judgmental on social media? What? What?
Well, they
No,
weren't.
no,
They weren't. I just thought they would be. I
no. But I mean,
assumed
like, you
they
expect
would.
that though, because I feel like it's so. I mean, I don't know. I think gay guys are naturally just vicious online for no reason. But
Yeah,
there's,
and especially to other gay guys, and I am too. I'm a harsh critic of my of it's all of course it's all projection, it's all
yeah,
self-hate,
of
but
course,
like but I don't I find, it's the age-old problem with being a kind of gay artist. It's like get like my heroes are women. I
right.
tend to seek out art that features women. I like female performances, I like female comics. It's like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? And so so I'm like, what do I expect? Like, when I'm making work as a gay guy, like
Yeah,
I'm like, do I really expect like other gay guys to like seek me out and celebrate me? Like I kind of am like, I understand. It's
right.
fine.
Yeah,
Because I similarly am just never looking to gay guys to entertain me. So it's a strange catch 22. I don't know.
yeah. I do feel like whenever I was like, I want to watch some. I want to find like a stand-up special. Like feel like I exclusively look for gay guys and women.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like,
Well,
oh,
I'm
here.
glad you look for
Yeah,
gay guys. It's good to know someone does.
I do definitely. Um, oh goodness, I lost my place. I did want to ask about the backstage stuff because I loved seeing the prayer at the beginning, and I don't know, I was like, is this a nod to Truth or Dare? I love it. If it
Yes.
is, thank you. Um,
Fully truth or dare.
love it, love it,
Thank
love
you. You're the only person who's
it.
ever noticed that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Um, I guess, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys did anything like that with the live show, but I mean, like, what when you do it for like a medium like this, like, I love that you like the part where you're like flirting with all of the musicians, and I love how you
Flirting
go
is a
up,
nice way of putting it.
you
It's
yeah,
sexual assault.
yeah, assaulting. And then you go all the way up to like the balcony just to pass in front of them. Like that is so ridiculous. And I guess I wanted to know, in putting that in here because it's different than a live show, I guess, like, what was important to you with that?
Well, I am very influenced by Jennifer Saunders, who did
Oh,
Absolutely Fabulous, and
mhm,
her sketch work with Don French,
mhm,
for the show French and Saunders.
yes,
It's like there's just something about like they do a lot of kind of backstage kind of sketches, and
mhm,
and they often play performers, and they have like
mm,
they play they have a sketch, a recurring sketch which is very influential to the special, actually, where they play Bananarama, the band who sings Cool Summer,
yeah,
and they're always like so stoned out of their minds, and
mhm,
they're just like kind of dim, and
mhm,
they're like this lethal combination, which is my favorite combination to play, which is like diva and airhead. Like, because if you're like, but like, it's like where you're like demanding, but you don't have like the language to like demand, so you're
yeah,
just kind of like, I don't know. I just think so. I just wanted to do that, and I also was like, well, if I there, it would be weird to me if I did this special with this band behind me, and they were just there,
yeah,
and
yeah,
we never went into the dynamics of the band. A lot of that too was just like we were looking at these, like, it was just by virtue of the aesthetic. Like, I didn't I thought that the only way to capture the liveness of that show and to make you feel the way you felt, which is like I wish I were there, was to shoot it in this kind of 70s like rock doc kind of way, like handheld, really loose and live way. And so
Mhm.
we were looking at these rockumentaries, and I was looking at even Spinal Tap, and like,
Mhm.
and there are just all these. I mean, Spinal Tap, of course, the gold standard of like backstage sketches, and I was like, oh, I have to do that.
Yeah.
And also, it came from a place truly of just insecurity of feeling like the live performance would not be enough. Like I didn't
Mhm.
have a lot of faith going into this process, which I has been totally restored, but I did not have a lot of faith that the show would be enough on its own. And so I was like, we budgeted for a day of sketches because of my just fear of my material
Mm.
failing. But I love the sketches because I just think they bring so much texture to it, and I love them.
Yeah. I like it cuts you guys backstage and you're on the couch and you're smoking and the guy's just like, "Do you want me to roll you a joint?" And he was like, "No, you're smoking tobacco." Like that's so funny. Um
Thank
so,
you.
I always felt like there was always like a sucker punch um element to like maybe how as the scene is coming down and then it just bashes you in the face and it made me like at the end of every scene at least he was like, wait, what, like sort of with like the predator thing at the end of the thing,
Yeah.
like I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I love that, it's so unexpected.
Oh, good. Well, I have
Yeah.
to say the Predator line was improvised by Deborah Ellensberg, who is like literally a MacArthur Genius winner. She is a short story writer and one of my favorite writers ever.
My
And
god.
she is so special. And she literally improvised. She was like, that's my sister, by the way, with her.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
gave my sister no lines, but she's like, Anne will head up our Predator team. I was like shocked. I immediately knew I was like, the fact that I'm gonna get credit for this line is wrong.
I just have here in my notes, predator team question mark. It's like, what the fuck. um I wanted to ask about near that you go on a tangent near the end of the special about uh hyperbolic
Hmm.
communication. And first of all, I just feel like I have to thank you for that because I feel like on like film Twitter or any
Yes.
sort of social media, it's just sort of like we have
Yeah.
lost the ability to communicate about art and talking about things. And it
Yes.
reminded me of when I was in college, and I was a little theater fag in college, and my one of my roommates was a year younger than me, and he every time people would come back after seeing a show, whether it was something in rep or something the students did, and he was like, "Was it amazing? Everybody talks about how it's amazing. Can we expend our thoughts on why it was
Yes.
amazing?" And
Yes.
I guess I just wanted to know if you think I want to say how did you want to skewer how we talk about art? But I just love that section. I just wonder if you could tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's really comes from, me. It comes
Mhm.
from feeling my own kind of leaping to hyperbole before I've actually formed any sort of genuine response to
Yeah,
something. Um, Gorgeous mug.
there's
Um,
asses all over this house.
but I just feel that in myself, and some of that is generational, and some of
Hmm.
that is the internet, and some of that is just being Southern and
Hmm.
like not being comfortable with ambiguity and having to kind of jump straight to like, oh, thank you so much. This has been incredible. I love you.
Hmm.
Like I don't know, like that's like that's the kind of cultural stuff I was steeped in, this kind of like super, super schmaltzy, saccharine sweet thing.
Hmm.
And and so yeah, but I really did notice it on Twitter, and you're completely correct. Film Twitter. I mean, that's why I used the example of
Tar.
Tar,
Yeah.
which I feel very conflicted about, and I felt conflicted about as I was saying it on stage,
Hmm.
saying tar,
Hmm.
because first of all, it's a weird word,
Yeah.
tar. I was like, no one's gonna know what I'm talking about, and also like we were in the dead center of the tar discourse at that moment, and that's why I used it. And then, like all kind of discourse, it completely disappeared, and so
Hmm.
it immediately feels so dated, and that was
Hmm.
kind of deliberate. That was kind of me putting a flag in the
Yeah.
moment that we were living in. But but it was it you're completely right. It came from film Twitter and just like people I I mean I'm not being articulate here, but I do think the yeah, I don't know. Like I was gagged. Like just people like I do th and it's funny. It's ironic. I know that some people use hyperbole, myself included, to be
Mhm.
funny.
Yeah,
It's
we
not
all do it. It's
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like but I just I'm not sure. I'm not answering this question well. I mean, also just refilm Twitter. This is maybe what was truly annoying me. It's just like this like Twitter criticism of films. You're either you have to either
love it or
love it
completely
or
bad
hate
it.
it. There's
Yeah,
because you don't have enough characters to be nuanced about it. And so it's like the only way to get any traction with anything is to be either extremely hyperbolic in a negative or positive way.
yeah,
And you know, that's bad.
yeah. No, I totally get it. Yeah, I think that was sort of like a really, I was like, oh my God, he's saying stuff that no one is saying. Like, I really, really, truly believe that. Like, we don't, God forbid, learn how to be more articulate about stuff, including art and stuff that we consume.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's also just
yeah,
conversationally, it's just a social thing I've noticed too, which is like I've just noticed myself in conversation, not even about art, like and I've
yeah.
noticed with my generation this kind of this like yeah, just jumping to hyperbole. I'm really failing here. My
No,
brain
no, no. The thing is, I know exactly what you're saying, and I think the special sort of speaks for itself in
it
that
says it
fashion.
all.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Um, Thank you, John, so much for your time. Like I said, big fan. I was so excited to see yesterday that I can rent Stress Positions now. I'm gonna watch it tonight. So
Good.
excited. So thank
Thank
you so
God.
much. Yeah, so thank you so much for your time. Good luck to you this season. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure.
you too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.